some reason my computer just decided to disturb today because just keeps going off. I don't know why. But anyways, anything will happen, we must still do this live. Like we must do it. No, nothing is gonna stop us. With that kind of we'll never back down. So let's move ahead. So I think I ended color grading introduction. Yes. Yes, so this is where we ended. So basically, introduction into color grading, and let's move ahead. What is color grading? That's the first thing I want us to discuss. Color grading is the creative post production process of adjusting images of videos, colors, contrast, and tones to evoke a specific mood, style, or emotion, enhancing storytelling. So, color grading, it's about adjusting a video or a picture, the colors of the picture or video, contrast, tones to evoke a particular mood or style or emotion to enhance the story. So it's about emotions, it's about mood. So every changes we do has to come from a mood or a particular emotions that we want to get in the story. And overall, it should enhance the story, not diminish the story. You understand? So that's what color grading is all about. It should enhance the story. And most let's say amateurs or beginners always make these mistakes. They will shoot very nicely, but at the end of the day, it's like the color grading makes their images worse or makes their whole story worse because probably they used a very good camera, let's say red or a Sony or whatever, or a phone, a very good phone, and at the end of the day, when they're color grading, they just spoil everything, and you look at it and you don't even feel like that was shot on a professional camera or whatever you see. And that's why we're here today to solve those problems. So I'll take you through the different steps of color grading so you can understand basically what to do and when to do it. It's always very important to know these things because um, they come in very handy when you're color grading. So the first step in color grading is image transformation. The second step is color correction, and then the third step is look development. So when you talk about color grading, think of these things, these three steps. Don't just say, okay, I have my image, I have to start color grading. You just put it in DaVinci Resolve and then you start trying to color grade now. That's not what you do. You have to think of these three steps. So the first step is image transformation. So what is image transformation? This is where you shoot with the log file. Let's say your file is log. You know what's log, right? You know when you shoot a video and then, especially with professional cameras, and then you see your images look very flat, you know, no colors, no contrast. That's a log file. So when you shoot with a log file, you first have to convert it to Rec 709 before you start any other touching any other tool or whatever. So you have to do that using a color space transform tool. So there's different tools I think in DaVinci Resolve, but I'll go with the color space transform, the CST. So once you're done, okay, so let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try. So this is a project. I pray this computer doesn't go off again. Please just be with us till we're done with this live today, guys. Okay, let's move ahead. So this is an example of a log file. So basically I just converted these images to, this was shot with a red, but I converted it to 1080 so I don't have any issues because the computer is disturbing. So just bear with me if you see some artifacts or compression in the image. Yeah, I just converted that to Rec 709. So basically, this is a this is a log file. You see, no contrast, no colors. It's just flat, almost like white and black with a little color. So this is what we're talking about when we talk about log files. So how do you transform a log file? So first thing you have to, this DaVinci Resolve obviously, and the first thing we have to do to transform a log file is to come over CST color space transform under effects, and then you place it right here. And then now you start placing the details from the camera, like the input color space from the camera you shot with. If you use Sony, you're going to see Sony. If you used GH Panasonic, you're going to see different settings. So DaVinci Resolve has basically all different settings you might need for different cameras. So I shot this on red, so I'll use a red white gamut. Input gamma, I'll use red lock 3G10 because that's what I shot with. And then output color space will be rec 709 and then gamma 2.4. So basically, this is the first step of color grading. You have to make sure you convert or transform your images properly before you move to the next step, you know. So this is the first step. I'll leave this here. And so let's go to the next step, which is color correction. I hope you guys can get me very well. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can leave them. I'll answer them at the end of this live session. If there's any worries you have, I hope I'm live. Yes, I can see some guys on YouTube are watching. Leave your comments, guys. If there's any problem, you leave your comments so I can reply to you. Okay, let's move ahead. So, color correction. So this is the next step in color grading, color correction. And it's very important because I have made these mistakes, back then when I started color grading. I never did color correction because I felt like color correction was a waste of time. You have to balance the image. That was a waste of time for me. But being a professional, I came to understand that color correction is very essential even before you start creating your looks, because sometimes after your color correction, you might just be good to go, you know. So you have to do color correction if you want to avoid spending a lot of time trying to create looks. And if you want to have clean grades, you have to do color correction. And these are the four steps of color correction. The first thing you have to look out for is exposure. The second thing is contrast. Third is white balance. The fourth is saturation. So let's try that. Let's try that. Okay, so this is our transformation. And then let's try the four steps. I will just create 4 notes before. 4 notes before. Let's do this. Let's just go ahead and save this. So this will be exposure. Exposure. This will be contrast. And then this will be white balance. And then this will be saturation. So basically, these are the 4 steps. And for exposure, you basically just have to ensure that you're getting the right exposure. Let's copy this so we can see. So basically just have to ensure you're getting the right exposure for this image. I mean, you have to trust your eyes when it comes to exposure. And also you have to work with waveform. This is a very great tool to help you get the right exposure. Right now you can see that our waveform it's not sitting at 0 and it's not sitting right on top, but we have some space because once your waveform gets right up here, you're losing details in the highlights. And once it gets right to 0, you're losing details in the shadow. So we don't want that, but we still want this wave to be stretched out so we have more